good afternoon and good morning to everyone, depending on the time zone that you're joining us from. We appreciate your time today, and thank you for joining. I know in this world of uncertain times now, there's a lot going on within your respective organizations, and we appreciate you taking a few minutes away from the daily challenges obviously we're all dealing with right now to come and understand a little bit more about our employee referral solution. My name is Mark Long. I'm Vice President of Sales here at Cadient Talent, and we're excited to show you today our solution and how it's helping organizations find critical hires for their organization to help run their business. One of the important stats that we've seen and why employee referrals are important to organizations, and we see this across all our clients today, is it's consistently a top source of new hires within an organization. Even though it may not have the most applicants per hire, it's always a top source of hire, and it's obviously the highest conversion rate in most organizations. And it also provides increased retention within the organization. Folks that are referred tend to stay longer, and also the person referring them typically stays longer within the organization, so it helps with retention. And we understand, obviously, in these trying times right now, some organizations are hiring, they're looking for people, can't find them fast enough. Others are looking at their hiring much differently right now and their talent needs. But one thing I do know, we'll all be in a different place constantly with our talent. And as we finish out or get through this challenge with COVID-19, everyone will be back in a hiring mode. So whether it's relevant right at the moment or will be relevant down the road, employee referrals will consistently be a top source of new hires within organizations. So today our speaker is Ryan O'Donnell. He is the creator and product lead for Cadient Text2Refer. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to Ryan at this point in time. Please, if you have questions, don't hesitate to put them in the chat bar. And I know Ryan will be addressing questions throughout the presentation, but we do appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining. And with that, Ryan, the floor is all yours.
All right. Thank you so much, Mark. And just echo what he said. Thank you all for joining us today. There's a million things y'all have got going on, whether it's your jobs, you're at home with kids. I appreciate you carving out some time to listen to us today and see what we're up to. We're really excited about Text2Refer. As Mark said, referrals are consistently ranked as one of the #1 sources of talent across all Cadient customers. And we've really seen, in working with most employers today, employee referral programs are primarily managed, manually with email and Excel. Today, most companies are tracking it with the drop-down box, and candidates can self-identify that they've been referred by a certain person. And what we found, particularly to meet the needs of the hourly, distributed workforce, is that there needs to be a better solution for employee referrals. And we're really excited about how our product has been out there in the marketplace and helping companies enhance their referral programs. What we've seen is a lot of companies aren't currently leveraging technology to run their referral programs like they are their, other recruiting processes like onboarding, background checks, assessments, and the like. So with Cadient Talent, we've built out Text2Refer to really make it so that you can get rid of those spreadsheets, stop tracking everything with pen and paper, and really modernize your referral programs. So today, we've got blocked an hour. I'll be respectful of everyone's time, hopefully give you all a few minutes back to your day towards the end of this. What I want to show everyone is how the product works overall. To do that, we'll just walk through what the process is like for an employee to submit a referral, what the employee's experience is like, how they can do it from their phone in just a few seconds. We'll walk through the candidate's experience, what it's like for them. A lot of programs, it's not they don't treat referrals any differently than any other candidate. And as Mark said, referrals, they tend to get hired faster, they stay employed longer. And if you look at the source, they're the highest applicant to hire ratio. So what we've found is we've been trying to build a tool that can make it so you can roll out the red carpet for your referrals and provide a better candidate experience for them. So we'll go through those two, the employee experience, the candidate experience, and then we'll talk through what functionality is available for our admins and the people who are actually running these programs to really give them all the data and tools they need to run the program effectively. Like Mark said, if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat, raise your hand, shout them out. More than happy to take questions as we go through the product demo here. Before we dive in, just wanted to share here as some of the stats that we've seen as we were looking into this. We've definitely seen that referrals tend to be rated as the highest ROI of any sort of candidate source. And I think the most compelling thing is they stay employed longer and they get hired faster. So if you're in a situation where right now you have to hire a lot of people to meet up with demand in healthcare or grocery, referrals are a great way to do that. And I'll show how you can get the system live pretty quickly. On the other hand, if you're doing a lot of seasonal recruiting or pipelining for back to school season, summertime, referrals are really a great toolkit. A great tool to have in everyone's toolkit. So with that, I just want to introduce you to the product. At the core, Text2Refer is a chatbot that communicates with your employees and their referrals via chat. It's very simple to use. There's no apps to download. There's no accounts to create, passwords to remember. The product itself is really simple. Using Text2Refer, you can upload a list of your employees. You can send campaigns to them promoting your referral program. You can do that through email, through text, through print flyers, through QR codes, however you want to promote it. We give you an easy way to promote the program, get the referrals so that an employee can submit a referral quickly. And then we're going to follow up with that referral. That referral can apply on your website, regardless of whether or not you're a current Cadient Talent customer. This will work with, obviously, Cadient Talent's applicant tracking system, but also integrates with all the other leading applicant tracking systems as well. So you don't have to have the whole suite in order to leverage this tool. And the rest of the product is, it helps you keep automated updates, compliance, and make sure that you can sync everything with your ATS and HRS. A big part of that is just managing referral bonuses so that you have one central dashboard to know who do we have to pay, when do we have to pay them, so that everyone gets paid on time every time. So with that, the first question we normally get is, how do we promote our referral program? And before any employee hears about the program or refers their friend, you got to set up that referral program. You got to set up what the rewards are. You got to set up the workflows. It's all very simple to do with the tool. But at the end of the day, people will refer if you ask them. What we found in our research is it's not necessarily how much you pay, but how often you promote the program that really determines whether or not a program is successful. So just imagine you're an employee here at the Avengers, and you're about to get an email or text message from your boss saying that there's a new employee referral program. I'll go ahead and switch over now so that you can see my phone. Can everyone still see that? If you can't, chime in. This is what the bot looks like. I'm just gonna go ahead and refresh this here. So imagine this being sent out via email or text to your employees. They click on this link, and from here, they can refer a friend, or they can check the status of their referrals. A lot of times employees will submit a referral and then they never hear anything back. So they go into the black hole, and then what happens? Well, employees have a bad experience and they don't want to start referring their friends again because, the last time they did it, their friend never heard anything. So with this, we make it really simple. You can check the status of your referrals so they don't go into a black hole. We can send you alerts along the way. We go ahead and click Refer a Friend here. Now, Text2Refer supports multiple types of referrals. You can either refer for a specific job so that referral can go learn more about that specific opening and apply. But a lot of employees, they don't necessarily know what jobs are open at what markets, which stores are hiring, which ones aren't, what are the openings. but they know that they've got someone who would be a good fit for the company and would be a fit for one of the company's open roles. So what we find is by making it so you can submit what we call a general referral or a job referral, you can increase the total volume of candidates actually being referred. And then you let the candidate pick what job they're actually interested in applying for. Now, to actually send a referral, you don't need a whole lot of information. Just put my referral's full name. And then the bot will ask what type of job they would be interested in. These can be linked up to your departments and Cadient Talent. These could be separated based on field versus corporate. If you're an organization that has different recruiting teams for different divisions like corporate and field, you can delineate it that way. I'm just to say Bucky would be great at a operations role. And then we'll ask the employee to put a personal note. We'll send that along to the referral, and we found that really increases apply rates because it doesn't look like a canned message from Spain. You can actually read. We've got users that often will write several sentences endorsing their referral. Gives you some great context. And then you just put in your own information here. It is not required to have a company email address in order to submit a referral. As you see, there's no login process, no accounts to create. If your company currently uses an SSO provider, we can tie in with that. But what we found is a lot of companies, they just want their employees to be able to send a referral quickly. So this is the way to do it. And then you're given the option of how you want to contact your referral. You can either reach out to them via email or via text. Across the system, we've seen about 2/3 or more, depending on the client, have their referrals come via text message. And that's it. That's all you have to do in order to send a referral. So just got that text. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And I just got an email confirmation that says you got a new referral. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. Hey, Bucky Barnes, Avengers hiring. Steve Rogers thought you'd be a good fit. When I click on this link, I'm the candidate who's opting into this program. I've got the option to either say I'm interested or not. I can opt into a particular type of job. So, I was referred for operations. Maybe I'm a better fit for retail. And then we're going to confirm your contact information. Looks like we already have your phone number in there. And that's it. If you'd like to, you can have these additional questions to have someone upload a resume via chat or ask a question. You don't have to. And then we're going to redirect any referral to go apply on the company's job page. And in this case, we're just showing you Disney's jobs page here. And we can redirect you to that career site to go apply for that job and complete the current application process. So right there, before I dive into the admin interface, any questions on the process to submit a referral or what it's like for the candidates? Mark, we got any questions in the chat?
I'm looking. I don't see any at this time.
All righty. We'll go and keep on going. So obviously a big question is, how do we track all of our referrals? And all the referrals are redirected to go apply on your ATS. And that's ultimately the system of record for applications. But Text2Refer will also keep a log of all referrals sent, who sent them, and when they were sent. So I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. This here has all of the referrals all in one place, so you can easily see referrals that are sent versus referrals that are interested. Now, with our integrations with Cadient Talent's applicant tracking system and with other applicant tracking systems, we can automatically update the status of these referrals. I'll just show you what it's like to actually mark someone as hired here. We can automatically pull in when new candidates are hired, their start dates. And when you mark candidates as hired, Text2Refer will automatically create a referral bonus for that particular employee. And you can see here we've got Steve Rogers is going to get $1,000 for referring Bucky. We know he was referred for a retail job. And we can see all the information about this. Now, the system will automatically detect if there's any red flags with your referrals. So in this case, I just referred him today, but he started last year. So we would cancel that reward because that reward is not eligible because they were hired prior to the referral being sent. Using this dashboard, you can make sure you've got all your start dates added. And then this can all be sent into payroll on a weekly basis or however your company has payroll set up so that referral bonuses can be processed in a timely manner and so no one falls through the cracks. We also manage multi-step approvals if your company has the need to have multiple people sign off before referral bonuses are being sent out. If you'd like to manage referral bonuses internally, you can do that. And like I said, we can facilitate getting that data to your payroll system or a person on the payroll team to process that. If you'd like, you can also have your payments outsourced to Text2Refer, and we'll actually manage the payouts on your behalf, including all taxation, if a user earns a certain amount. This is really helpful if you want to give out a gift card, where it'd be kind of a hassle to administer that and running that process of sending out gift cards to folks. And also gives you the added ability if you'd like to offer a referral bonus to people who are not currently employees. We can obviously help you manage that so that you can open up the program to your customers, to your alumni, part-time, contract, contingent labor, any groups that you want to get referrals from. You can upload them and get more referrals, and this system can facilitate the payouts to those people. Whereas you probably wouldn't want to have to deal with getting 1099s for your customers who are sending you referrals and helping you fill jobs. So that's the process for sending a reward. Just to show you all a little bit more about what the dashboard can do. We give you some high-level stats as well as a leaderboard, so you can see how well your program is performing, and then you can drill down on that. So let's say you want to see for your connectors or your employees, you want to see who's the most active employee, who has sent the most referrals. You've got all of this data right at your fingertips. You can see how many people are new to the program who have not yet sent a referral, and compare that with the number of employees who have actually referred somebody. If you want to see who made the most money over the past year, that's just at your fingertips. What we found is it's nearly impossible to track all of that in Excel and keep that up to date across multiple systems. So you can see here, very easily, you got two people tied who have sent 4 referrals, but one of them got somebody hired and made $500. On any of these, you can drill down and you can get more specific. So you can see here, here referred. There's some very interesting names here in our demo database. But you can get very granular. You can see when that referral was created. If I go over here and show you a particular person who was hired, you can see all the details of when that person was hired, when their start date is. All of this updates automatically via an integration, so you don't have to have your recruiters working out of 2 different systems. Most of our clients just have 1 or 2 administrators using this tool. And you can do the same for all your rewards. So you can see when the start date is, the payout criteria. So in this case, got a You got to work 30 days in order to get a referral bonus. And you can see a time lapse of each of those important dates. As far as actually getting new users into the system, it's really easy. You just drop in a file or copy and paste names and emails or phone numbers to invite more people into the program. When it comes time to actually promoting the program, we give you a couple of different options. For starters, we're going to make it really easy so that you can create one-off campaigns. So you can create, edit email campaigns and schedule those to send out to your entire network. You can also create text messages with the same interface. So those would be one-time messages that you send to everybody. What we found is one of the most effective ways of getting a program working are these onboarding messages. And the way that these work is whenever you add a new person to the referral program, you can enroll those employees in your referral program's onboarding process. So, to correspond with the rest of your onboarding procedures, you can, of course, mention it in orientation that we have a referral program, and you can set this up so that in the first week, all employees will receive an email or a text message telling them exactly how to refer and giving them the link to submit their referrals. So you can create, one email that you want to send out, let's say after 10 days, and you can customize that. So you can create that onboarding flow to make sure that everyone receives it. What we found is if you have a touch point at least monthly to encourage participation in the program, we found unsubscribes stay pretty low because you're offering money a lot of times to employees. So it's not something that they are typically unsubscribing from, but really just keeps the program top of mind so that, when a new job is posted or when somebody says, they're interested in changing jobs, your employees can really be your ambassadors and be on the front lines saying, oh yeah, I just heard about our referral program. They'll pull out their phones, click the box in their text message, and be able to send a referral. All of your campaigns have stats associated with that, so you can drill down and you can actually see, the fruits of your labor. You can see you sent out, a text message to, in this case, 261 people. You got 10 referrals and made 2 hires. And all this is set up automatically, sends you these reports however you'd like to receive them. But we really found that this is a great way to show that the referral program is working. If you see a dip in activity, you might want to change it up. Also, if you see that certain campaigns or channels are working, you might want to double down on those. Some companies, text messaging has not worked very well because the types of employees they have, a lot of them they don't have phone numbers for. So if they send a text message, they might only reach 20% of their workforce. And they found sending to their work emails is the preferred method. But we have other companies in retail and food service where emails are not an effective channel and text messaging 80 to 90% participation.
Brian, looks like we have a question in the chat if you have a second. So it looks like we've got a question. It says, is there any way to provide a template of the needed information without going back and forth on submitting a referral?
So, so for clarity, just to make sure I understand that, this would be a template, like, can you pre-populate the employee's information so they don't have to send that? Is that the?
So this was sent by Destiny to the organizers. She says yes.
Perfect. So yes, you can do that. If you upload a list of employees and you would like that information to auto-populate, you can to save them a couple steps. If they forward the email, then somebody could send a referral on their behalf. We do have some safeguards in place for that as well. Great question, Destiny. And it looks like Paul has asked a question, how does the data come out of the system to send to accounting for payouts? Great question. You can send the data a couple of different ways. You can just do that, an email report that goes to an admin via Excel. We can also set that up to be a more secure file transfer, and depending on your system, we may be able to add records directly to payroll. So however is the easiest, and everyone has a different process for handling payroll. If you want it to be weekly, you can do that. If it's easier to set this up on a once a month basis, you can do that as well.
Hey, Ryan, question for you.
Yeah.
Can I earn rewards other than money?
You can. There's a kind of a single way to track everything. So if you'd like to perhaps like set this up to, if you use a tool like Achievers or something like that, we can send data into those. We did have a kind of robust points system that you could get different points for different actions within the site. We found that it was very confusing for users, so we're not actively pushing that. But if that's currently how your company handles referrals, you can import that, and the system can accommodate that. Were there any particular types of rewards you were hoping of being able to do?
No, I'm just curious as to whether there's an opportunity maybe to offer discounts or gift cards or something that may not just be cash. Yeah,
and yeah, you can do gift cards with a gift card provider. So if you wanted to, for example, one of our customers is Chick-fil-A. So they have a customer referral program at some of their locations. So that if you refer someone who gets hired, you get like catering for like 10 people, and they can track it all within the tool. So that's one example. Everyone loves some Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and if you're going in there, you see the ad and you're like, oh man, I could do that. It's a great way to engage different groups, where you might not want to give your customers like $100, but you'll give them a $100 gift card.
Yeah,
we've seen some automotive dealerships do similar types of programs, free oil changes, discounts on service or repairs, or your next car if you refer. We had a dealer that once they offered someone $1,000 off their next car if they could refer a technician to them, and it got quite a few technicians because everyone's got their favorite one. Yeah. Looks like, okay, cool. No more echo there. Great. So, do you have any other questions there? Is there a limit to the number of referrals that an individual can make? The answer is no. You can send as many referrals as you would like. There's no limit to the number of referrals. We can also track if multiple people refer the same person. We can also throw up a red flag, so that if you've got a rule like, an employee owns a referral for a certain period of time, the system can automatically calculate that. So we'll always let people refer, but we'll manage so we can communicate that to the employee. If I refer Mark and a week later, someone else refers Mark, we want to communicate that that is not a referral that's eligible for a referral bonus. So, no one thinks they're getting a bonus if they're actually not.
One of the questions that are out here is, what conditions must referrals complete to for someone to earn the bonus? I'm assuming that would depend on the individual company's program and what their, standards or rules are around it. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, most companies, these are kind of our standard bonus settings. So you designate an amount method. If you want to do a gift card, and then days until payout. So it'd be the number of days after a candidate starts, when, after that person has reached that. If both individuals are still employed after 90 days, then you pay out the $1,000 bonus. We've seen some companies that they pay out as soon as somebody starts, on their first day, they pay out the gift card. That's all configurable, just based on how companies want to set that up. You can also support
completely configurable.
Yep, and you can also do multiple rewards. So if you have a situation where you've got a lot of high turnover, you might want to stagger that out. So you pay a little bit up front, and then more the longer employees are both working there. We've seen that work really well. So you might do, $25, after their first week, and then another $100 after someone's been working for, 90 days or something. So you can set that up as well, and the system will automatically track that, so that if somebody is terminated, it'll automatically cancel that reward. So you are not paying out bonuses that you shouldn't.
So kind of following up to that then, Ryan, are there any suggestions as to what counts as a successful referral?
I think the biggest thing is that referral is sent and the person was hired after the referral was sent. The single, all of our customers have different settings of how they want to manage it, but everyone kind of across the board has said, if you refer the person after they get hired, they're not eligible. So, the easiest way to ensure adoption, as well as just ease of use when managing the program, is just to communicate that if you want to get the referral bonus, you've got to submit it through the tool. If you just email HR, that's not good enough. If you just slide a resume under your manager's door, that's not going to work either. We need to have documentation. So that's the single biggest thing when it comes to having a valid referral. And then you can get into a lot of edge cases around who owns the referral, how long is that period of time. If it's a returning employee, that would not be eligible, for example, for a lot of companies. If you're a senior executive, you're probably not eligible for referral bonuses.
Perfect.
Things like that.
We're toying with the idea of doing a 50% when the employee starts and then a 50% 90 days in. Is there a way to track that and manage something like that?
Yeah, let me show an example of that. So let's say here with Bucky, which referred by Steve. If you see here, we've got $1,000 after 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
I do $50 day one. And then let me just go ahead and edit the other one because we don't have that one lingering around. I already canceled that one. I'll just show you what this is. So you can change that. Make this, yeah. So then you have it set up like that. So it'll stack so you can see multiple rewards for that person.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
And Ryan, we've got another question over here. It says, is there any way to show recognition or public shout outs of the employees that have given the most successful referrals?
Yeah, great question. We love those. We do have a leaderboard, and you can customize this. So if you want to have, one leaderboard tracking, depending on your organization, we've had some folks that they will actually link to this on their screens. So we'll have a live feed of who sent in the most referrals. Of course, you can copy that and paste it wherever you want. A lot of our customers, like once a quarter, they'll have a campaign where they'll highlight who the most active employees are, and they'll actually use the data in here and they'll put that in the email so that they can send out a message to everyone saying, these are our most active employees. Let's see. Any other questions? Go ahead and jump into the links here. So I mentioned flyers a little earlier. You can create custom QR codes to promote the program. And we found this is really helpful when you're dealing with a distributed workforce, particularly in retail or food service. You can create one for each individual store or branch. If you're a gym, you got a lot of gyms, then you can post up one of these at each of your locations. And you can see how many referrals you get from each program, as well as how many hires are coming from your flyers. So I just made an example here. So you can see this one. So you can create the flyer, and then you can download, or you can create the QR code, and then you can download a flyer for that. If you'd like a custom one built, we can do that as well. This is the kind of standard format. But you can post these up, and it's really interesting to see, just from the foot traffic, if anyone has their phones, at their side. If you want to scan that QR code, all you have to do is open up your camera, and it'll actually take you to the link to send a referral, like you're an employee at the Avengers. I'll leave that up in case anyone wants to do that, and just say that this, just like our campaigns, is a really easy way to see, is the program actually working? When we talk to a lot of our customers before they implemented some software like ours, their referral program was kind of this black hole. We didn't know, we promoted it over a year ago. We weren't sure if it was actually getting us any traction. This really helps you show, hey, we put up flyers in each location. We've gotten 100 referrals across all of our flyers and 20 hires. So it's, real easy. Let's double down on that. We've had some groups that, for example, Northwestern Mutual, one thing that they did was in all of their staff meetings, when they get the whole company together at each of their branch locations, in the manager's PowerPoint, he would have a QR code and a shout out to the top 3 employees who sent in the most referrals. And then a QR code that says, you want to make $1,000, open your phones. And we were actually there. It was during our implementation for one of their other brands. And, what you saw was about 20 employees pull out their phone and send a referral right there on the spot. So great to do that in kind of any environment where you've got, daily check-ins or, weekly all hands meetings to promote the program that way.
One more question over here, Ryan. It says, is there a limit to the number of people I can refer / is there a limit to the number of rewards I can earn?
No limits, unless the company wants to put one in, but I'd advise against that. We haven't had an issue yet of companies wanting to turn off referrals. One thing that you'll see with this tool is you have a pretty high conversion rate from referrals being sent to people actually getting hired. Depending on the industry, it's usually one of every 3 to 10 referrals that get sent to actually get hired. So we've had some users that they work for companies doing a lot of salaried professional hiring, particularly in software engineering, life sciences, healthcare, where companies are offering multiple thousands of dollars, and we'll have users who can make over $10,000 through their company's referral programs. Might be a good idea to give those people jobs on the recruiting team in that case. But if you want to have those limits, you certainly can. I'd advise against it. Great question there. In here, you can see the flyer that I created. You can actually see, it looks like we had like another 8 people who just scanned that QR code here.
And one more question on this end. How can employees manage their phone numbers past the initial implementation? So like changes to phone numbers?
Yeah, so you can set it up a couple of different ways. What's most common is users actually, when they're on the bot, there's an FAQ section. So that spells out all of the individual, kind of most popular things like how much do I get paid and when? And you just ask the question, which is please update my name / phone number to whatever they want to do. We'll also keep a record if you ever are sending emails or text messages to inboxes or phone numbers that are bouncing. We'll automatically unsubscribe those so that we can flag them. And we found, particularly in environments where you've got a lot of employees who are either company email addresses, and then those are being deactivated, or their phone numbers are changing every few months. You want to be able to update that in that way. Any other questions coming up? That's pretty much the whole product end to end. Actually, we do have a few other things. That was just the example here of when you receive an alert like that. It says, hey, Brown asked a question. Please update my phone number. So if you're an administrator of one of these programs, you can centralize all of that. And you can say, done. Hey, look at Danny. Look like we just got a referral that came in here. Apparently, Mark is a good sales guy. And you can see he was referred to a sales manager job. So that's pretty much the product end to end. Obviously, there's a few other things I can show. We'll pull in all of your jobs automatically from your applicant tracking system, so you don't have to cross post. You can set different bonuses for different jobs. You might have that set up based on departments, locations, and you can also create multiple programs from the same account. So if you are in a situation where you want to have different rewards for individual locations, you could set that up as well and run multiple programs within the same company account. Any other questions hanging around there? We've got about 15 minutes.
Ron, how long does it take to roll something like this out? I mean, implement the solution?
Yeah, great question. We are asked that a lot, especially right now for folks who might have some more pressing hiring needs. The whole product, can work out of the box depending on the level of integration that you want. We've had some clients go live within 24 hours. You can actually sign up and create an account yourself, and we can help you get onboarded, create the campaigns. The biggest barrier really to actually launching for most of our clients is uploading a list of their employees and having their first message ready to send out. We're certainly willing and able to help you all do that. And in situations where you want it to be fully integrated with your applicant tracking system, most of our clients go live within 2 weeks, as long as it's a standard integration that we have with your applicant tracking system. Of course, if you want more complex integrations, that are custom, that timeline, can be extended. We found most of our customers are able to go live within 2 weeks because it is a very lightweight tool. There's not a lot of training to be done. There's not a lot of users to get into the system, and there's not a lot of data to pass back and forth between the systems.
So this is a days and weeks type of project, not a weeks and months and years type of project.
We're big fans of being able to launch quickly so you can actually see the results of the referral program. I feel like most companies, we've all been through implementations that take longer than they're supposed to. So, with Text2Refer, we really hope this is an easy product to, create your account and get started relatively easily.
Yeah, so it seems really easy, Ryan, which is awesome. What's your suggestions on how to educate my staff or staff on a referral program?
Yeah, there's certainly a couple of things you can do. What we found, do you mean particularly like the HR team or like the general, the employee base as a whole?
No, the general employee base. I think it looks like it's fairly simple and easy, and especially by talking about your implementation timeline, it's more of a concern on the staff, on the employees, and getting them to want to use. I understand the monetary incentive, but I'm just to educate them on how to use it and teach them how to use it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, typically what happens when we actually launch, we usually suggest our clients promote the fact that they have a new referral program if they have never done one before, or make a formal company announcement. However they do that, whether that's in their not one-on-ones, but their weekly huddles, depending on the type of company that you are, prior to sending out one of these all company-wide emails or texts. And then when you send that out, it's really important that you spell out, hey, this is a new referral program. You probably wouldn't want the message to be this short. You might want to spell out, hey, we're the Avengers who are hiring. We have a new referral program. Ask your manager about it if you have any questions. If you want to refer, just click this link. Terms apply. Check the FAQ for more information. And just spelling out, usually just like 3 bullets, like, how do I refer? Click the link. What if I have a question? Check the FAQ. How do I check the status of my referrals? Click the link. And just continually pushing people. If you want to send a referral, click that link that you got in that text message or that email. And we found that most of our customers don't have to do like a live training or demonstration of how to submit it. If anything, in the communications, either offline or in the tool, they'll just say all you need is a name and their phone number or email address.
Thank you.
Great question.
Ryan, as we kind of wrap things up here, just for the audience, what would be your advice around an employee referral program, other than the obvious that you need to have a system in place to run and manage the process? I mean, you've got a lot of experience in this. You've talked to a lot of folks. You've worked with a lot of customers. What would you advise? What would be your advice you'd leave folks with of, what makes a successful program? What would, if you had advice you could go back and give folks, what would it be? What should you be thinking about? What should you do? How do you leave here with what's the takeaway from this, that advice around employee referrals?
Well, I think there's really kind of like 3 things I'd pass along. So the first is, no one wakes up wanting to refer someone to their company. So it's got to be simple. It's got to be super easy for an employee who, and a lot of our customers, hourly workforce, they don't have a computer at home. They don't have the latest and greatest, iPhone 27. So it's got to be super simple for them to send a referral. And it also needs to be really simple for them to send that referral, regardless of how they do that. It's got to be really simple. The second thing is, if you don't already know what % of your hires come from referrals, you got to check that out. That's the one metric that I think a lot of people know, or at least they know, like best in class is usually like 20 to 40% of hires for, on the average. And what we found in, retail, healthcare, hospitality, food service, those types of industries, usually that number is a lot higher. So, check if you're a current Cadient talent customer, check your source data so you can benchmark where you're at today and set a goal of where you'd like to be 12 months from now. And then the third thing I'd pass along is one thing that most companies do not track today. And the shameless plug is, with software, it's easier to track this, but one thing that you might want to look at, we've got all these engagement surveys that will tell us if employees are likely to refer or recommend their workplace to a friend, how satisfied they are. But we found the most important metric that we look at for our customers is what % of their employees who we've invited actually send a referral. And if you're in the low single digits, you got a problem, and you got to figure out how do we get those numbers up? Do we promote it more often? Is it too complicated? That's really the leading indicator for whether or not your program is going to be a success. So, regardless of what software you use, try to find out that number. How many employees have actually sent a referral over the past 12 months? And if we were to double or triple that number, what would the impact be for our company? And for most organizations, their problem is not we're getting too many referrals. It's we don't get enough referrals, or the referrals we're getting aren't that good. So just being able to promote that program, have some data to back up the program, but then ultimately just make sure it's really simple for employees and for candidates to benefit from the program.
I think if you knowing these numbers are important, right, for putting your business case together around the program, and I would assume, the ROI is more than there, but being able to seek budget for this, it's an easy thing to find budget for, because you could easily cut, if you improve these numbers, you could cut things like job board spend that's probably many times 3 to 5 to 10 to 20 times probably what you're spending on your employee referral program. Is that a fair statement?
It really amazes me how much money people will invest in their lowest performing channel when they look at their referrals. I think one of the reasons so many companies see it's their highest sources, they're not spending a whole lot to get a lot of hires. So, picture your referral program as your secret sauce, where you can fill, half your jobs, and, you don't need half your recruiting budget to go to referrals. But, certainly I would evaluate what are you spending to drive referrals compared to your other sources where, the candidates aren't that good of quality, where they're perhaps less likely to stay employed, 1 year later, those types of things.
Very good.
One more question came in on my end. Oh, sorry, I didn't know if you were done.
No, go ahead.
Okay, just a quick question came in on my end here. Do you need a dedicated resource to manage a referral program?
No, it's a great question. A lot of our customers, they have whoever is kind of in a recruiting operations role or recruitment marketing role. They're the admins, and it's really something that they log into, once or twice a week if their company processes referral bonuses that frequently. Many of our customers, when we get started with them, we will actually provide templates for both their referral program design as well as all of their campaigns. So you don't need to hire a marketing person to run the program. You don't need to hire a separate payroll person. We've had several companies where, they've had employees dedicated part or full time just to managing those Excel spreadsheets and keeping track of the program today. And this automates up a lot of that work. So hopefully this is something that can save your company some time and reduce the strain on your HR and recruiting org. Because it really is one simple tool to add to their toolkit to hopefully free them up, as opposed to adding yet another tool for them to check and yet another thing for them to log into.
Good. Any other questions? Well, if not, we'll wrap up here on time and give everybody back a few minutes. And Ryan, thank you for your time and your expertise in taking us through Text2Refer today. We really appreciate it. I want to thank everyone for taking a few minutes out of your day and attending today. If you have any questions, comments, or would like additional information, please don't hesitate to reach out to your folks at your contacts that either invited you today or your normal Cadient talent contacts. We're glad to help in any way we can. If you have any questions, just let us know. But again, thank you for your time. Have a great day.